Hello, everybody. My name is Rick Besa, and I am this year's race director for the Little Apple Gravel Race. This year's race is being presented by A1 and Region Racing. You may know me from the Region Racing cyclocross race out in Crown Point and/or the Region Racing Criterium that usually takes place in Hammond, Indiana. This year, we are going to be running the Little Apple Gravel Race along with the A1 Cycle Center, who also has a team. So I wanted to make a quick video for you that basically goes through descriptions of the courses and what you can expect when you come out to the race this Sunday. So first of all, I'd like to thank all of you for registering for our race. And there is a lot of information on the registration page. First off, if you go down to the bottom to our event notes, we have our times and what will occur in terms of when you are going off. Uh, there will be 4 state championships that are being awarded this weekend. And probably what's most important on this page for many of you are going to be the GPS files for the actual race. So this link right here actually goes to a Google map so you can see a general overview. And I'm going to be using that a lot in this presentation. You have some Strava maps that you can copy. These are from Ride with GPS. And then there is also a Google Drive folder that you can click on, and this will take you to the TCX and GPX files. If you have some crazy GPS navigation system that I don't know about. Okay, so here is where you will get all of those files. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about logistics and parking. So if you, if this is your first time, this is where registration is. It is Roadhouse 52. It is a restaurant and bar. And across the street, there is a subdivision that is being built. Now, they very rudely are putting houses in this subdivision at a rather rapid rate, which is going to be taking up some of our parking in the future. But for now, people that are there early in the morning, which are going to be the 150K riders, you probably will, you're going to get first crack at parking because you're going to be there first. So you will be able to park around the restaurant. Okay. Those of you that come later in the afternoon, this will fill up and there won't be any more room for cars. And then at that point, we will be parking across the street in this subdivision. So what I'm going to ask is, this is also where we will be lining up and where you will be leaving from. But this year, they have actually built houses all along Castle Boulevard. So I'm going to ask you not to park on Castle Boulevard because I want to keep those people as happy as possible and not have them complain to the city. So please don't park on this road right here. But this stuff all over here still is not developed. You are more than welcome to obviously park over there. Okay. I We have permission from the city. They know we're coming. They know we're going to be here, and we have done this race before. The people that do not know that we're going to be here are the people that actually live on Castle Boulevard. I am going to go out there tomorrow and talk to some people just to make sure that they know that we're there. We are guests there, so obviously, just make sure we are respectful of people's property, and we want to be able to come back here again next year. Okay, so registration and everything will be at Roadhouse 52. You will receive a complimentary beverage ticket when you pick up your number. And at the end of the race, you can go to Roadhouse 52. They have pretty good food. They have an outdoor area. It's one of the best parts of the race is actually the socializing before and after the event. Okay. So I always get questions in terms of what the course is like. The course is going to be a mixture of different kinds of gravel. Uh, None of it is huge, but for the most part, the course is 95% gravel. The shorter course, the 50K course, is I mean, like 95% gravel. A little bit less for the 100K course, and the 150K course is probably about 80 to 85% gravel. So the gravel is all varying in terms of its difficulty. Uh, a lot of it, I have driven the entire course over the last couple of weeks, and there is going to be some very fine gravel. There's going to be just dirt roads. And then there also will be sections that are very, very, very fresh. So it will be challenging as usual. But what I encourage you to do is just go online and look up Little Apple Gravel Race. This one right here, this Little Apple Gravel Race, Manhattan 100K Fondo. This one does a really good job of showing you what that course kind of is like, okay, in terms of the kind of gravel. The next question I always get is, okay, what tires should I run? Well, it's looking like the weather is going to be very good. It's not going to be wet. It's not going to be muddy. It's going to be very dry, which means it's going to be very fast. Uh, and most people that I talk to run like 38s on courses like this. The winner last year of the 150K course actually ran a 38 millimeter slick, 38 millimeter slick for the entire race. Okay, so it's obviously up to you, but uh, 38s are plenty. There have even been people that have done this on road bikes before. I would not recommend doing this on a road bike if you're doing the 100K, because there is a section in the 100K called Farmer's Daughter that I will give you some information about in a little bit. Okay. The final sprint in all of the categories, about the last 3 or 4 miles, I think about the last 3 miles, is all pavement. So you will not be sprinting on gravel or dirt. The final sprint, the last 1, 2, 3 corners, will all be pavement. Okay. So take that into consideration. In terms of safety, um, we will have for the 150K, you go off first. You will have no support when you're out there in terms of people blocking roads and stuff like that. So the expectation is that you treat it like a group ride, look out for each other. Obviously, you are going to be racing, um, but you will not have anybody blocking roads for the 150K, at least for the first half. On the way back, like the last 3 or 4 corners, you will have people out there that are blocking corners. But before that, for the most part, you will not have anybody that is blocking traffic for you. Okay, it's going to be a Sunday morning. It's not going to be very busy, and we can't afford police, and we simply just don't have the number of volunteers to be out there that early to block off roads for the 150K people. Okay, so please make sure you are looking out for each other, uh, just like when you are on any kind of a good group ride. Please make sure well, with that being said, for the 100 and the 50K rides, we will have people at all of the major intersections. We do have police at the busier intersections, and then at some of the blind intersections and stuff like that, we will have volunteers that are out there letting you know what is going on in terms of traffic. Okay. For the most part, though, most of these roads are in the middle of nowhere. We really have not had many problems in terms of interference from cars and stuff like that. Okay. But obviously, watch each other, be safe. In terms of navigation, I highly encourage you to have a GPS unit. If you don't have the files, you can go to, like I showed you before, on the registration page, and you can download any of these files. If you see someone at the race that does not have the files, please share them with them. I probably will have, I'm going to try to have one extra computer there so that people can come get them if they need them. Uh, but these files are all shared. Hopefully you can upload them. If you have any suggestions about that, I am open to that. In terms of the start of the race, there will be a neutral rollout for the first couple of miles just to get people into the swing of things. These are all long races. There's no reason to really go from the gun. Trying to have a good time, get people off of the main busy roads and onto gravel so that everyone is safe. Okay. In terms of course descriptions, let's go ahead and talk about that now. So there will be water available for all of the courses, and I will go through each one of them one by one. So let's go ahead and first of all, if you go to the Google map, you can get a general overview of all of the courses. I put this map in here. So here is where the start finishes. There are going to be 3 water stations for the 150K. I went back and actually talked to some people that did the 150K last year. Most of them did not stop for water at all because most people use camelbacks, but I want to make sure that I have water available to you in case something crazy happens. You never know what's going to happen. So you will have water available to you. So in terms of the 150K, I the first water stop will be at the 30-mile mark. So, if you the 30-mile mark is going to be in the Kankakee Park. This is a state park, I believe. Okay. I but I also wanted to go over this course a little bit with you. Okay, because I went out and looked at it the other day and I got a little bit confused. So I want to make sure that you guys know where it is that you are going. Okay, you can't go too far south; you'll just go right into the river. So, but this is water stop number 1. Okay, when you go into the park, there's a campground and all kinds of stuff. So these are regular roads. You're going to enter the park right here. Uh, the routes will be marked with paint. Probably should have said that in there somewhere. The routes will be marked with paint, 3 different colors depending on which route it is that you are doing. But I do not, you couldn't have enough signs in the world to mark this all with signs. So there will be paint on the roads, but there won't necessarily be signs everywhere that you need to go. But here is where the first water stop will be. You're going to have a couple of options here for water. You're going to come into the park and then you're going to go into this parking lot. Now, at the bottom of your screen, if you look at this little circle right here, this is actually a spigot. Okay. I'm going to throw a case of bottled water out there. We don't get a million people doing the 150K, but there will be enough water here for at least 1 bottle a person, if not 2, probably more like 2. I so I'll throw a couple of cases of water here, but if for some reason something happens, there is a spigot there, and that spigot does have good water in it. It's not terrible water. I was out there last week and I actually tried it. There are also restrooms here because it is a state park. Now, here is the thing. You're going to have GPS, and what you're going to have to do is when you get in this parking lot, there is a bike trail. Okay. Now, this bike trail is crushed limestone. It's going to take you all the way through the park, so there won't be any cars on this road. It's actually pretty cool. It's fun. Uh, this is where the main park is. So if for some reason it's going to be people are going to be camping there that weekend. So if for some reason you do need something, you could stop and get some food or whatever it is that you want. There are more restrooms, but you're going to go all the way through the park, and then after you get through the park, you are going to get to the end. There is a bridge that you cross that's going to go over Rock Creek. Then you're going to get back on that bike trail, and that bike trail is going to take you to North 7000, uh, which is going to be this road right here. The bike trail takes you underneath that road. You go through the parking lot, you get on there, and then it goes back onto some super cool roads. These roads over here are really pretty. It's a really nice area to ride. Okay. I What's going to happen though is you are going to end up getting to this little area right here, Custer Park, and then you're going to hit another bike trail. So this is another gravel bike trail. Okay. And you're going to get on this gravel bike trail and you're going to keep going until you get to here. This is where your next water stop is going to be. Okay. So same thing. I'm going to have a couple of cases of water on the side of the trail right here. That will be the next water stop. And this is going to be at about the 58-mile mark. Okay. Okay. All right. So once you do that, you're going to go do a loop around a whole bunch of stuff here. There is a water stop in the center of the course that you are going to do twice. So this will be at the 70-mile mark and then again at the 80-mile mark. Okay. And then from there, you're going to go back to the beginning and that'll be the end of your race. Okay. So that is the 150K course. It's a super fun course. It's it's a great touring kind of course, even if you're not racing. It's a lot of fun. So next up is the 100K course. So for the 100K course, you'll have one water stop that you go past twice. So same thing. You are going to hit this water stop at the 43-mile mark, I believe. Okay. So you're going to hit this water stop at the 43-mile mark, and then you will hit it again at the 53-mile mark. All right. So uh, same thing. You are going to be uh, going through this course. Now, I like I said, the majority of the course is going to be gravel. The 100K racers get a special section though. Oh yeah, you do. And this section is affectionately known as the farmer's daughter. All right. So I'm going to mark it right here. And I didn't have it marked before. Uh, so the farmer's daughter is kind of it is an actual real thoroughfare, but it's only used for the most part by tractors. So if you take a look, it turns into a dirt road, but we have had so much water this year that it's really, really grassy this year. So they did mow it this week. So they mowed this whole thoroughfare, but it is very, very grassy this year. Um, most of the clear way through the trail is going to be on the right side of the road, but it is very grassy. This was really the only way to connect back to the regular trail. Okay. But this is definitely going to be a challenging section. The end of this puts you right back onto the regular road. Okay. So that is Farmer's Daughter. Okay. That is Farmer's Daughter right there. And then the last course is going to be our 50K course. And the 50K course has one water stop. Let me check one more time. 20-mile mark. Thank you. All right. So the water stop for the 50K is going to be at the 20-mile mark. Okay. So that is going to be that course. Okay. Now, we had some people last year. I want to talk a little bit more about the neutral rollout. So we'll be heading east on Bruns. We'll have police officers right here at Cedar Road. Okay. Uh, the neutral support really ends, the neutral rollout, not support. Neutral rollout will end somewhere around here. Okay. Uh, and then you come upon a bridge. Okay. This bridge right here narrows. Okay. This bridge right here narrows. Last year, some people tried to squeeze through here a little tightly, and there ended up being a crash on the bridge last year. So be careful over the bridge, please. We don't want anybody getting hurt. There is a YouTube video of it if you want to actually see that crash. So take your time going through the bridge. Be careful. Don't get yourself hurt. Okay. After the race, please come back to Roadhouse 52. Eat some food, have fun. It's really my favorite part of the entire day is meeting and greeting with everybody back at Roadhouse 52. It's a super good time. I That's about it. Okay. If you have any comments, suggestions, or anything like that, please let me know. I will add them and can't wait to see you out there. Have a good one, everybody.